Yo, what is good? Today is Saturday going into Sunday. We made it through hump day. We're here on Saturday. We're about to enjoy our Sunday. Hopefully we can go into our Sunday tonight. Cheers, everybody. Late night, goat night. Thank you for anybody that tunes in at all tonight. Just gotta get on here and just be random. We're usually random on Saturdays. Just get on here and talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about. Things that are going on in the hobby, outside of the hobby, that kind of thing. Some announcements coming up for things going on my personal page. We'll be doing some raffles and doing some really nice theme belts coming up. So we'll talk more on that. I'd like to get some people's input on that too, so that'd be nice. Well, let me bring my boy in, because it's spooky to be here at night by myself, and I don't ride late night by myself, so let me bring my boy in, because he's got my back. My boy Ethan Thompson.
It's all about get the baby. I know one thing for sure we won't be talking about tonight. It's the C4 crumb rind.
Oh
man,
God.
that is, dare I say, the most divisive belt in the hobby right now.
You know what? That belt made me think about a lot of things, and it's just. I appreciate the art. I appreciate the work that goes into it. I appreciate the quality of the C4. I appreciate the quality that goes into the leather, all the work that everybody does. But, at the end of the day, and I do mean this, at the end of the day, people are arguing for no damn reason. For no damn reason, because I don't care who's doing the silversmith work. I don't care who's doing the leather. I don't care who's doing the artwork. At the end of the day, we can compare it to Reggie Parks. It's not Reggie Parks making the belt. It's not the original silversmith working on it. It's not the original people putting it together. There may be 2 or 3 people involved in the project, but at the end of the day, you're still not getting the crumb rind that Ric Flair got. And you're
never going to.
Yeah, and even at that, the original people who put that belt together would never be able to put that same belt together, done exactly to the T the same.
And it was my exact same argument that I got fucking banned over and blocked over with the Winged Eagle. No matter how hard you slice it, the executive elusive fucking deluxe, super deluxe series is not a Reggie. It's never going to be a Reggie. Let's pump our brakes and get over it. And it's just the thing that's weird to me about the C4 is, like, I was going to talk to Carmine about this, is how it's presented like a club. Like the C4 boys are like,
it does have that feeling. It does
weird,
have that feeling, because there is a page for it. There is a membership for it. There is I want to say, the same. I was getting opinions today. People were inboxing me, asking me what I was thinking, and I just said, it didn't even dawn on me until like a few people said that it's the same gatekeepers or elite collectors in that group that are owning them.
Yeah.
And really pushing that for it to hold value, because even if it was $3,000, $4,000, $5,000,
you're not going to get your money out of it.
Yeah, and if nobody would buy one because it's too expensive, would there be an argument that it's the best thing on the market as far as a big gold? James, good to have you on, brother. What's going on? Happy late night to you. What's going on, brother? We're here, open mic night. Talk about anything you guys want to talk about. But on this big gold, I saw a comment that said you can't compare Ford to Ferrari. You really can't make those. You can't make those comparisons. In my mind, I'm a car guy. I owned a shop for many years. I restored a lot of classics, and there are some American classics out there. They're no Ferraris, but they price-wise will give you the run for your money. Me in my heart, even if you ask me, would you pick a Ferrari or a fastback GT500? Best believe I'm jumping on that GT500.
If you go to that, you can go to the old adage though. Most of the people that want those Ferraris and the Lamborghinis are the people that are locking something downstairs. You know, you make that argument, you know. So I'm not going to sit here and say which one's better or which one's worse, but
I think this is more of a what's better for you type of thing.
But from an optics perspective of just somebody looking from the outside.
What's up, Jumbowski? What's going on, brother? Good to have you on.
The C4 guys need to really pump their brakes on their elitism.
Mr. Big Green King, Vinny Carquito, he comments, C4 has this notion that there is no free speech for criticism. Don't come on my Arosha post promoting the C4, and I'll pay the same respect. And makes a valid point. You gotta take points. Me as a leather worker, do you know how much criticism I've taken? How much criticism that has come up? I mean, for fellow guys in the leather industry to message other customers and tell them that what they have is nice, but they think their work is still better than what I do. You know what I mean? Like,
and I know a lot of this started yesterday. Carmine made that live, and like I said, I've learned a lot in this hobby, and I've learned that I don't need to be territorial. I could be good with Vinny and Gary as much as I could be good with Carmine. If Gary or Vinny say something that I don't agree with, I'll say it. But when Carmine said something I don't agree with, I say it. Like last night, I disputed. I was being the Gary advocate of what Gary's trying to do with Arosha belts and the Carmine and the not elitism that's so stigmatized with the C4 right now. Because the C4 just has this really distaste of elitist about it right now that's rubbing people the wrong way. And I know Gary's trying to bring a quality product through his middleman, and yes, Gary has a financial investment into pushing Arosha belts. But like I explained to Carmine, you were guilty of the same thing when you were in our chats telling us that his $250 Usmans were the same as a Reggie, and you were pushing those because you were pushing those belts. So just calling a spade a spade. I haven't held the C4 yet. I've held a lot of other of them. Is something a C4? That's the problem, though. That's the other thing. The Chrome Ride's not about that. Like I live and die by.
It's not. It's the same for me, honestly.
I'll spend $4,000 on a Reggie.
Yeah.
But a Chrome right now, I had a Rizwan that I was super happy with.
Jumbowski says Groovy G all day. You know what? I have yet to work on a Groovy G. I haven't seen that. Somebody posted. Somebody said on a comment that to them it was first the C4, then the Groovy G, and then it would be the Shop Ride, as far as their top 3 Chrome Rides. And when I see that stuff, that's when I'm like, that's when opinions are like a little, I don't know, iffy to me. Because how can you compare a Shop Ride to
a C4?
Well, not a C4, but I'm saying how, that's kind of like saying, I'll put it this way, see if people kind of get me on this. how can you skip or put the shop rind over an Arosha's crumb rind?
It's bias and ego.
It has to be, because I've had both of those in my hand. There's no way you can compare or put those in your top 3 list. That's can't be a thing. I've had the Fandu Lux, the Fandu Lux Big Gold. It is much better than the shop rind. It is closer in size. It is a little bit heavier. It's not like paper weights. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's not paper. It doesn't feel toyish.
And to be honest and fair, I'm a little biased against the Groovy G Big Gold due to there was back in the hobby in the COVID days, there was a Johnny NWO situation that affiliations and things like that. So I'll be honest, I'm just biased against it. So, but with the Rosha belts, I've seen a lot of pictures, and I'm impressed for what you're getting. I think the price point's a little high. I'd like to see him in that Rizwan range. But again, I haven't seen it in person. I haven't felt the leather or anything like that. I'm just going off of pictures and what I've owned.
I think if the Rosha crumb rind was
1,000.
I don't want
my Rizwan was 800.
I think for what I've seen in my hands and held in my hands, I think if they were to sell that Arosha for 1,400, I'm fine with that. But that would be ceiling for me. 1,300, 1,400 would be ceiling. I think 1,800 is a little hard for me, only because at that price point, people start looking towards classic shields.
Yeah, because you're.
What do they have their? What's their crumb rind? What do they call it? The budget crumb rind?
Yeah, their budget one.
What is that price at?
I want to say 22.
Like 22? You're in that neighborhood already. You know what I mean? And I think, and leather does play a big part of it. I think that Rosha had the leather game locked the way ORM has it, where the edges are nice, the leather is a certain way. It's super straight. I think that $1,400 tag on there would be awesome. It would be right there with it. You know what I mean?
And I think what's tragically happening, but I think what's tragically happening with these belts is, and there's no offense, there's no shot to Gary, there's no shot to Vinny, or no shot to Carmine, but they're letting their personal plights against each other kind of misconstrued and kind of wash away the value of how good these belts are, how good the Rosha belts are, how good, the C4 is a great belt. There's nobody's saying it's not, but the personal interjections is where it's like, all right, okay, we know.
I mean, with the C4, I get that there's a family lineage there. There's a certain, if you want to call it a bloodline, if you will, of people in the project. I get all that, but at the end of the day, I still have trouble seeing the money and the worth of that belt for that money. If
Reggie's son started making belts, like, are we gonna do cartwheels?
I mean, I wouldn't. It's and that's a good example. I mean, I've never spent, I don't think, 1,000 on a belt. I've never spent over 1,000 on a belt, and I'm happy with that. I could never spend more than that. I just ordered that bike should be coming in Monday or Tuesday, but I could put down $2,500 on e-bike, no problem. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's
I got $4,000 guns. I'm not,
and that's like a lot of stuff here. That's like, I'll say it again, like my custom made Orange County kit. That's like a $3,000 set, drum sets, drums alone, nothing attached to it, just drums. And like, I don't ever have a problem spending money on something if I get a certain quality and use out of it. This is really important right here. If you spend for a certain quality and use out of it. So for me to spend $4,000 on a belt that's just gonna literally sit on a shelf and walk around my house, and every few months I look at that thing and go, God damn, I paid a lot of money for that belt. I mean, it's a beautiful looking belt, but damn, I paid a lot of money for that belt. That's money I'm never gonna get back. No one's gonna give me $4,000 for that thing.
I got 10 classic shields. I'm like, God damn, I got like fucking $15,000 worth of belts just sitting there.
And I get that. I totally get
that.
I
look at it, I'm like, ugh. That's why I'm like, I'm just gonna piece them out, sell them out, keep a few, and then I'll just start going. I'll go to Great Custom Belts to get a Winged Eagle if I want to, because you know what? He makes a solid quality belt that I can live with.
He makes a very solid HD.
Having on a shelf.
Vinny Carquito comments, so if the C4 is jewelry, should buyers expect it to tarnish? That's a question he's making, and he says, legit question. I don't think anything of a certain quality and a price tag with it should have a certain problem attached to it. I understand that things tarnish, but they don't tarnish on their own. There is a process that has to be kept where a certain cleanliness of materials, certain contaminant-free materials, so these things don't tarnish, a certain high quality of that. If I buy a belt,
humidity and
I mean, humidity and stuff like that plays a part, but it plays a part in the long run. If you have a belt for like 6 years and you see a little tarnish spot, I get that. If you have a belt under a year and it tarnishes, those are definitely contamination, things like that. You know, that's how I look at it. It really shouldn't, because that's what you're paying for. So if you buy a Ferrari for $100,000 and we're not talking warranty here, we're talking failure of elements in the materials. So if you have a Ferrari and those tires balled out in like 2 weeks, or the stainless steel muffler system that they use starts rotting, or the gaskets start going bad, you know, they fail before time, then yeah, that's a quality control. You know,
there's a reason why the automotive industry. There's a reason why the automotive industry has a lemon law. You know, you're not going to get 100%. It's retarded to think you're going to get 100% quality 100% of the time. C4 is going to have their blemishes. C4 is going to have their faults. Classic Shields has their blemishes. Classic Shields has their faults. Evolution has theirs. Are going to be the same. Mind you, C4 at $4,000 should probably handle their faults a little differently than somebody who's paying $250.
Yeah. My question, not question, but in my mind, I asked myself, I wonder, for that money, if the original owner of that belt contacted them and said, hey, I've had this belt 5-6 months and the nameplate is tarnishing. Could you guys send me out a new nameplate? You know what I mean? Or should I send this one back and when you guys refurbish it, refinish it? Because for that money, it's a lot of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I couldn't spend $4,000 on a belt like that and something like that happen and you not feel some kind of way about it. You know, there's a reason why the first owner sold that belt.
Yeah.
The person was obviously not happy with the belt.
He's like, look, my leather's crooked. The shit's tarnishing. I spent $4,000 on it. And before the market fucking catches up, I'm going to fucking get as much as I can back out of it. And I'm sure you didn't get it. I'm sure you didn't sell it for $4,000.
There's no way. There's no way that anybody will buy that for $4,000 and sell it a year later or 6 months later for $4,000. There's just no way.
With defects. Because I'll just take my $4,000 and be like, I'll just take my $4,000 and be like, C4, make me a belt.
luckily the buyer is somebody that has experience with leather, and they're going to redo the leather, so that it's to their advantage. You know what I mean? In that sense, it's a come up. That person came up.
Oh, for sure.
Vinny comments, it sold for $3,000.
$1,000 like that, gone. This is the win.
Gone. So I mean, I don't know. And when I think about quality control, forget the tarnish. Let's talk about the leather. These are guys who are about to let out a belt leave their business, leave their hands for $4,000 to a customer. You know what you're looking at. Should you have let that belt leave, be sold for that money, knowing the leather or the stitching was crooked, or that the plate was offset, and should it have left like that? We argue this a lot in the belt community, in the belt hobby. We talk about this a lot. Oh, that maker should have never sent you that fucked up belt. They should have checked it before it left. The paint shouldn't have got stuck to the plastic. They should have let it dry and checked it before it left. You know what I mean? A lot of those kind of issues. We hear a lot about that. Or the snaps didn't line up. That belt should have never been sent to you without that stuff lining up.
But here's what's happening with C4 right now. I don't know Colin. I've never spoken with him, so I can give you a non-biased opinion. Here's what's happening with C4 right now. It's the classic Shield thing. They have their fanboys, and their fanboys want to be in tight. And they're going to be in tight. They're not going to say anything bad. They're going to overlook the bad, like we all did with classic Shields. And that's just what's happening right now. They're in the honeymoon phase of the relationship, where they're all trying to get in good with Colin. They all want to be Colin's best friend. They all want to be. I got a C4. We're brothers, and you got a belt, bro. You got a belt. Nice belt. I'm happy that you can afford it. It's great that you can afford it. You're privileged in your life in America to be able to afford a $4,000 toy. 100%. Congratulations. Can I buy one? Absolutely. Do I want to buy one? Like you said, not my cup of tea. You throw a Warrior IC in my face, or a Reggie Winged, we'll talk. Master Series, we'll talk. But I'm right out there. I'll get a shot.
I think if I went with the Crumrine, for the quality, for what I've seen, I'd probably, for the price point, I'd either go Orosha or order a Fandu Lux.
I really like the Fandu Lux. I was gonna buy that Derek Ross's EJ Kelly's Orosha Crumrine, because he was gonna sell it for like fucking $450. Anybody wants to sell me a Crumrine for like $800 an Orosha? Hit me up. That's my price point for that belt.
James comments, "Hey guys, hope you're doing good." Yes, sir. Just got in the hobby 2 months ago. Got a set of dual plated Winged Eagle plates. I decided I could make my own belt for the plates. I guess when he says belt, he means the leather. I can say I'm in over my head. Oops. No, everything has a beginning, man. It's never oops. In Spanish, we have a saying, echando a perder se aprende, which means you'll learn eventually by breaking a lot of shit. And that's sometimes the best way to do it, because sometimes the only way you learn really well is by messing up a bunch of stuff and fixing it, so that when you're good at something and a problem comes along, you know just what to do, man. It's that experience versus somebody who's never had a problem. It's smooth. When they run into a problem, it's the end of the world for them. So go for it, brother. That's right. Only one way to learn. Mr. Dylan Hernandez is in the house. What's going on? He says, yo, what's good, my dudes? Just here commenting about the Crumrine, brother. We're talking about the Crumrines right now. Benny Carquito comments, I'm seeing a spike in guys learning to make leather. Packy Leather is cutting it for most. Even a lot of Packy Leather isn't, you corrected that, isn't cutting it for most. A lot of guys are learning the leather. I've seen maybe 5 or 6 new guys. Kevin's doing really good. He's doing really good, man. He's on the right fucking track. But man,
once you get this American leather in your hands, this Mendoza Craft, American coming up on 4th of July, got the American United States. You get that leather, you get to smell you don't beat it. You just don't. Like,
you know what's crazy? 4th of July is coming up, and last year I had a U.S. title. Again, I hate it when 4th of July comes up. Everybody's posting their U.S. titles. Now I have no U.S. title to post.
And I've never had one to post on 4th of July till this year.
Shit. I gotta look for one quick. I need one. I really like the current US. I'm either thinking that or get the 3-plate or WCW.
I'm hooked on the current US. You know, and that's the thing is, I don't want. I wish there was somehow like. Again, this is a utopian idea, but you know, you guys like Carmine and Vinny and Gary, and they're strong, opinionated guys, and they're never gonna agree. They're just not. But they can do something for the hobby. Okay, Carmine's buying the expensive shit. Gary's trying to provide you a budget shit, and you can ask Vinny about any big green in the world, and he'll tell you whatever he needs to know. You know, and I'm guilty of it, and I've learned, and I've matured, and I've got away from the infighting about belts because it gets you nowhere. It just gets nowhere.
Yeah, brother. I would say for those clamshell tools, honestly, it's very rare that they break. I would say go on eBay and look for any of the old craft tool stamps, the vintage leather tools, and find them and buy them American and cheap. Don't buy the new stuff. It's castings versus the old real metal made, very strong stamp steel grade leather stamps. Dylan says leather difference is real. I got a chance to handle a Paul Martin strap. Leather seemed thinner than Mendoza's product. Definitely, brother. It's not the first time I've heard this.
He uses like an 8 ounce. Yeah, he uses like an 8 ounce, doesn't he?
He uses 7 to 8, I believe. He uses a 7 to 8. I use the 8 to 9. It's on the heavier side. Thinner leathers. I have thinner leathers. It just depends on the projects that I receive. If the
I was gonna say, like, if you're doing like a 3-plate, like not the current US, the last US. If you're doing like a 3-plate send out strap for that, you're gonna obviously use a thinner leather because it's only a 3-plate and it's thin plates, 2 millimeter.
That's one of the things, and the other thing is the mounting posts. Sometimes I'll have a boot and they'll send it to me to re-leather. Whoever, whether it be Pakistan or American made leather, but there was some kind of mess up on it, they grind down the hardware. So when I get to re-leather, there's no way I'm going to get all those new nuts and bolts to fit on there. So I have to go down a grade to get that, you know. There's a little bit of a way to do that, to get around it. If the leather's too thick and the bolt doesn't show, wet the leather from the back a little bit, put like a little socket, and pound that like you're stamping, and it'll thin the leather just in that little spot. But now it's a risk because now you made that
you're compromising.
You're compromising it for strength. You might fold that one day and pull right out of there.
And you see those people that get the the shop line or shop out, and they're like, "Look at my bolt pulled through the leather."
Yeah, man, it happens. What's up, brother? We got Through the Fire podcast joining us tonight. What's going on, guys?
Brother.
They put up a question. I just had a big old releathered. It hasn't come in yet, but I'm very interested in getting a custom WWE Universal releather. What is your turnaround time? Pop Martin is 26 weeks.
He's 26 weeks?
Well, he's got
Holy
a huge
shit.
waiting list. So, okay, I'm going to tell you guys, nothing's perfect. I'll be honest. I've had leather jobs come in here. I have one leather job for a customer. It's a custom one-off. It's really difficult. I've been dreading getting into that, but I've had that maybe, haven't started it, but it's been here. Everything's here. The project is in the works. I think I'm into it maybe 3 months. So hopefully this month I'll finally get it done for him. But it's something I really need to take my time because I'm trying to duplicate what I did completely freehand on a strap that's not even any longer in my possession to even compare. You know what I mean? So it's very difficult.
What's your basic strap go time?
Well, my basic strap time goes anywhere from 3 to 4 weeks. It sometimes jumps into 5 if I run into some problem. I don't have a supply. Backing hasn't come in yet. My leather provider, they're backed up on the orders that I usually get, that kind of thing. But you know, something like that takes anywhere from 3 to 4 to 5 weeks, and it'll run you anywhere from $285 to like $350, depending just on how much labor and work there is involved. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, everybody has a method to their madness. Everybody has. I'm constantly trying to upgrade my equipment. I have a really large press now, and I'm jumping from a 6-ton over to I just ordered actually today 8-ton hydraulic jack that fits under there, so it gets the stamping down a little easier for me to do and a little more even around the spread parts, like the World Heavyweight Championship, the Seth Rollins belt.
Yeah.
Which is really hard. There's a lot of floral pattern. It's a big plate to get that to press the design in. So, you know, just got to modify. I think I'm spending like another $300 just to be able to make the customers happy. Not that nobody hasn't been happy, but just it's more a thing in here for me. You know what I mean? I made a strap for somebody made a World Heavyweight strap, and they weren't getting the center pressed out really good. For me, I make sure that everything visible is good because honestly, the plates we're gonna go mount it on there. There's this huge design on that belt, huge design under that plate. But once you put the center plate, you only see about half an inch all the way around the border. So it's, you know what I mean? It's jacked up, man, honestly. Through the Fire podcast, he says, yes, I wanted a custom WWE Universal Championship releather with a gold strap with restoning. And he was like, all projects are running about 26 weeks. I was like, damn. Yeah, I know. I mean, that's...
But that's the thing about the restoning. Like, you can send that to Simpson, and Simpson's going to kill it while you have Mendoza murder your strap. And honestly, you'll probably get them both back about the same time. Because Simpson did a couple restonings for me, and man, that dude is so fucking meticulous in his drilling and just the cleanliness of his restoning. And then Mendoza, I'll vouch for Mendoza leather all day long. Dude is a phenomenal leather guy.
Thank you, brother. To be honest, like for stuff like that, I don't think it's taken him 26 weeks to make it. But he doesn't want to lose any business. What that tells me that he's just grabbing everybody and anybody. Yeah. So he's got this big old line of work. He knows he's got straps to go.
Yeah, so
to go.
He could be working on your strap today, but then a company calls him like, hey, I need this fucking belt. Yours is going this way.
You're going to the back burner.
And then he's doing the next one.
Yep. James says, my method to my madness was to save money. I guess I shot that idea. No, man, you know what? If you're going to do this for yourself, yeah, there's ways around it. You know what I mean? There's ways around it. But if you're doing it for the people, it's a little different. It's a little different. You know, I might get a send out strap from Paul Martin where the center may be even blank. And that just as me. It won't bother me. I don't care. It's not like I'm ever going to see it, especially if my plates are going to go on there. I don't care. But other people might go, oh, this guy charged me so much and the center's not even tooled. And somebody will say, well, aren't you putting a plate over that?
Another thing you can do, James, is kind of crawl before you walk. So if you want to get in the leather and fill it out, it is an expensive thing to start to just fuck up on. So go to some of these low end makers and tell them, yo, hey, send me a strap, a Winged Eagle strap, tooled, unpainted, unpunched. Get the strap, it's tooled. Then you can learn to color it. You can do the snaps, you can do the holes, you can do the backing, and get that feel. And then the next one, send me one that's just cut out, untooled. Then you can tool it, do the snap. You're just working your way down that way, and they'll probably send you the straps for $100, $150. Yeah. And that way you can kind of minimize your losses.
Through the Fire says, I'm new to this. My big old re-leather is my first belt. And Paul is doing that. Paul is doing that. He shipped today. It took 3 months. So I'm new to this. And who should I trust? And who does what? I guess what he's trying to say. So there's plenty of guys here in the U.S., man, that you can trust.
So I'm gonna give you a rundown because I know Mendoza's the leather guy. So you know he's obviously should be a fan of his work.
When people ask me about leather guys, I never mention myself to be honest.
I would. You're good.
But I never mention myself when they say who's a good leather guy. Who could I? You know what I mean?
Start with restoning. If you're just looking for restoning or custom plates, I'm gonna direct you to my man Mendoza for custom plates. I'm gonna direct you to Richard Simpson for all your restoning. He restones. He does custom side plates for the shop belts. Does a lot of work like that. He has a website. You can make payments. Do the whole bit on Richard Simpson for the restoning. When it comes to leather, there's a lot of good leather guys, but you're going to see a big fluctuation in their wait times. You get a guy like Ryan Stokes is regarded as one of the best leather guys in the game, the best lace guy, hands down. But I've heard his wait times are 6 months. You get guys like Man in the Fog, Mendoza, Mark Magler Leather.
Mark Magler also does very good lace work too. He does
you get those guys. You're gonna go to the 2 to 4 month range, somewhere in there. AJ Giddings is another one that is just
fantastic guy.
Fantastic leather guy, man.
What's this other guy? Simon.
Chris Simons?
Simmons.
Simmons.
I forgot. Maybe I'm mixing up the name, but there's another guy that does really, really good. Alvin, Paul Saffler, he does.
Alvin. If you're up north, Northern Image, is it Northern Images?
Northern Image Leatherworks also.
Yeah, if you're in Canada.
Ryan Richards, that's his name? Ryan, yes. Right? Ryan Richards, yeah. I'm going to take this question real quick. Vinny Carquito says, Antonio, when do you work on your straps with a full-time job? I actually, my only days off are Monday and Wednesdays. And I really get about a day and a half's worth of working because I still have a family of 6 kids, a wife, a girlfriend on the side,
Podcast.
3 dogs, a podcast, and
A partridge in a pear tree.
so there's a lot going on in my life. So when I do have leather work, I have to sit down and really punch it now.
And now, as a customer, I'm going to go on a rant and say that's what people need to be mindful of and cognizant of. Is most of these guys are doing this shit with full-time job. So I know everybody wants a deal and everything. When I see the hey, who's got a Black Friday deal on leather work, or who's got a special, bro, you gotta understand, man. These guys are doing it and they're doing it well. And let's pump the brakes on those discounts, man. Because I live in Cali, so we're getting murdered on these tips now. Man, they fucking ask for tips for everything, bro. Like everything. Takeout. You go to McDonald's and just put it on. McDonald's, like, we have like kiosks now where you don't talk to people.
Yeah.
And the kiosk asks for a fucking tip. And my
Not for having me
is,
do your job, no.
if I'm not sitting, I'm not tipping. Just how it goes.
And I get that. You know, another thing to consider is I think I've only increased my prices one time since I started leather work, and it was about, I think it was a $10 difference. It wasn't that much. But
Dollars.
I had a customer ask me about a re-leather, and he said, "Can I do it in payments?" I said, "You know, I usually only do down payment to cover partial labor and materials, and then the rest upon shipping. That's usually how I do it." But leather is going up so much because it's not just one type of leather. It's a certain backing leather you have to buy, and you have to buy the certain leather that's veg tan for the actual strap. You have to still have burnishing materials, burnishing tools, stitching, edge coatings. You have to have dye, you have to have reducers, you have to have paints, you have to have endless rows or drawers of brushes to paint with, and cleaning materials, and you know what I mean, rolls of napkins and gloves, and it's a lot of stuff involved, man.
And heaven forbid you actually just fuck up once.
Oh yeah, if you can
know?
let me tell you what happened one time. I had already put the backing on a belt, and I had the razor blade cutting the just access leather on the edge, trimming it off. And I got into the habit now of cutting it from the bottom and the razor facing me now. But at first, I was cutting from the top, going down the edge. Well, that damn razor blade did slip one time right onto the strap.
Oh.
Had to redo the whole thing. Plates were already mounted, because everything has to be ready once you put that backing. Plates were already mounted, finish was already done, hours of tooling, material.
Snaps are done, everything's done.
And sometimes some of these leather hides, you can only get 2 straps out of it because of the width and the length of some of these big ass straps. And shoot, I mean, and there you go. So now not only did I have to replace all those materials, because now the backing is shit because you can't even separate it. It's so glued hard on that it'll just tear if you try to rip it apart. You can't. It's a strap for the trash. I literally just took the plates. I literally took my razor blade and cut the strap into pieces so that the plates were by themselves, and unscrewed them all from the back. I was so pissed. And those mistakes happen. They can happen repeatedly. Accidents happen. And it's costly, man. If somebody were to just re-leather their one belt, if you had to buy, because this leather is not like buying a roll of vinyl or a roll of fabric. It doesn't come in a 300-yard roll.
It comes in a weird ass shape, huh?
It's the shape of the dead animal, the legs, the head, and there's parts of that you can't even use. There's a fucking bullet hole or a scrape along the skin from when it rubbed up against some barbed wire and fly bites and shit. we're talking about a natural skin off an animal, guys. That's what we're using. And the leather is a whole nother thing. They sell it by the square foot, not the square yard. A foot. So if your belt is 52 to 56 inches long and it's 12 inches tall and you need slack, you know, this way and this way, they're not going to sell you 5 or 6 square feet of leather in this direction only. What you need, hell to the no. They're not gonna lose a whole half side of a cow.
Yeah, you're not. You people need to understand. You're not buying fucking 20 perfectly stripped pieces of leather that you just cut into a belt like you see on fucking Paul Martin's table. No, that shit's already been cut and processed and everything, and that's what he has left.
And it's funny because we have YouTube these days. People could easily go jump onto YouTube and look up how leather is made and how it's priced. So if you were to just make your own belt and you bought all the materials that you need for that one belt, you're going to spend close to $400 or $500. And you're not going to do it right the first time either.
And that's then you're going to talk. You can talk the grade of leather. Like I know, like Ferraris. We're talking about Ferraris and C4s. They use a different grade of leather because their cows, they have special cows that don't interact with barbed wire. They're free range cows that they can get more leather out of their hide.
Through the Fire says, I'm in Missouri. How can I reach out for a conversation about my next belt, custom universal belt that I want? I'm taking my big old SummerSlam. I got floor seats, name plate, Booker T. Nice.
Congrats.
Well, I have a Facebook page, Mendoza Craft, and you can find me on Facebook. Join there. I talk with anybody and chop it up with anyone. Mendoza Craft, and Instagram Mendoza Craft 1. Vinny says, tip your leather guys. This guy Vinny is amazing. He's done work with me, and he treats me like royalty, man. And I try to do the same for him. He is the man.
Imagine if he treated Carmine as good. Little New Year's resolution, Vinny. Why can't we all be friends?
James says, I'm up to $435 right now. LOL. James, and that's on one strap, right? You've been working on one belt, right? Dylan Hernandez comments, how much leather are you buying at one time? And what grade do you shoot for? My leather is always 8 to 9 ounce. That's what I keep it at. Like I said, there's special situations. There's customers that they have one-piece belt tips, and this is another issue. Every maker has one-piece belt tips, but that opening where the leather on the tip slides into is not always the same. Sometimes it's really thin, man. What can you do?
And then that's the thing, though, the whole one-piece belt tip thing. People don't understand actually what it goes into making a one-piece belt tip, right? So just to clue you in, I've done extensive research on this, right? They take your tip, they take a 2-piece tip, they clean it up to make it a one-piece tip. They weld the hole shut and clean it up. Then they take sand mixed with sugar molasses and they make a mold. Mm-hmm. But in that mold, that empty spot where the leather is, they make another mold. Then they take that sand and they burn it. Because when you burn the sand with sugar molasses, it turns it rock fucking hard. Mm-hmm. And that's called a core. Then you put your bottom part of your tip into the bottom, which is called the cloak of the mold. You put your core, and then you put your bottom on, and you pack it full of sand. Take it apart. Make sure it's all good. Pour your metal in there. The metal doesn't go where the sand is, so that leaves an opening. But everybody's different. That's why you'll get some of these guys that'll have really nice, thin, sleek one-piece tips. Yeah. Then you got other guys that have these really thick, really cumbersome one-piece tips. That's all just sand casting. It's fucking wild process. Look it up. It's awesome.
It's a trip, man. It really is. It really is. I saw a guy that because I'm into a lot of these e-bikes too and stuff. I'm getting into them. So I was learning how to repair the rear motors and the gearing and everything. Most of these companies use nothing but plastic gears. So this guy from Pakistan opened one up and he goes, I'm going to start offering metal gears for you guys. So he takes it and he shows this whole process of how he's measuring it real quick and blah, blah, blah. Puts a piece of metal on a lathe and starts going at it. Turning it and cutting it down to size and everything. He puts the teeth in there counts all the teeth and all. Bro, he made this 100% copy. And he's like, now Metal Gears, they'll never strip. He's like, buy them from me.
I watched a guy in Pakistan they were making motorcycle sprocket gears for the rear tire. But he wasn't making one at a time. This motherfucker, they go to they take a big ass sheet of metal and they punch out a bunch of circles like this big. Punch them out. Then they take a stack of those circles about this long and put them on this lathe with this special kind of cutter. And they go back and forth and they just cut the teeth out. And they'd cut like 100 gears out at a time.
Shit.
It's the wildest fucking shit, dude.
Crazy, huh? It's crazy, man. As far as how much leather I buy, at one point I was keeping 4 to 6 hides here. Not anymore. I take a certain amount of orders. I make sure that leather I order covers that amount of orders. And then I just have one backup hide. And then I have one hide that's slightly thinner for those special projects. That's it. That's all I do now. And when I didn't even finish saying, this guy that sent me a deposit for his belt he wanted me to do, he sent me $100, which is okay, but I let him know, hey, I'm not going to start anything until I have the materials. In order for me to order the materials, I have to have enough money to order them. So that 2 to 3 week wait for that belt is throw that out the window. I'm waiting on you. So materials, we buy what we call a double shoulder. And that double shoulder, depending on the day of the week or whatever, I want to say it'll probably run you anywhere from $100 to $150, depending on the quality of that piece. Okay, because there's A grade, B grade, C grade, D grade. Okay, but that's just the what we call veg 10. That's just the strap itself. That's the leather for the strap. That's not exactly ordering the backing for it. Because if you happen to get, let's say, a white winged eagle with red backing, red leather costs way more than black leather. You know what I mean? So you're going to end up paying more for that. You can't just go off your regular prices anymore. Now you're talking about paint instead of dye. White paint costs more, way more. And the process of throwing on that paint is a lot longer and a little more crucial. And the burnishing is almost damn near impossible because you can't rub on those edges too much because you'll rub that white paint right off. So it's a pain in the ass to do anything blue, white, magenta, any color. It's other than black. It's big time pain in the ass. Dylan says, but our Metal Gear Solid. No Metal Gear Solid. Gamer in the house. Through the Fire says, I'm going to reach out. I'm hooked on the belt game, even though I haven't gotten my first one yet. I want 2 more before Royal Rumble. Definitely, belts are fun. And I think I'm starting to swing a little more to the custom made stuff now. The regular belts are being really repetitive for me. And what I don't want to do is kill the art form in my mind. I don't want to do that. I want to keep evolving to other things. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens.
My next belt can be a custom Lost Boys belt. I'm a huge Lost Boys fan. So I want some kind of belt with right on the bottom where the nameplate is. It fucking says Lost Boys, and then I'll have the fucking characters on it. So
oh man,
we'll figure something out. Like so that's gonna be the next belt is Lost Boys.
My brother's a big time Green Bay Packers fan, so I might make him a belt. Do something for him.
I got a custom Niner belt I need too for this season. I want to do it. I have a couple ideas. One of my ideas. Have you seen the big golds where they etch out the NWO?
Oh yeah.
I kind of want to do it where it's the big gold, but they etch out the San Francisco logo, like big in the middle. But then on the side plates where the grapplers are, those are the little 5 stacked on relief piece Lombardi trophies that the Niners have.
Nice.
Little detail.
Nice.
And then just that big red gold logo around the middle.
I just saw something on Facebook today. They were showing all the dynasty trophies for the basketball teams in the NBA. I think Boston was tied with the Lakers, right?
I think so.
And now they're at the top of the hill. They got one more than the Lakers. They're officially the house of championships now.
I'm going to jump off topic. Have you kept up with any of the WNBA?
WNBA, no, but I've been seeing a lot more on social media.
So there's a girl named Caitlin Clark that's just, man, she's taking the world by storm.
That's who I've been seeing on social media.
There's actually another girl named Angel Reese. She is kind of the Caitlin Clark arch nemesis that wants to have clout, that isn't very good, but it's very, these girls, so we all know women are petty. And the WNBA is showing it really bad because, man, this Caitlin Clark is getting body checked and just fouled to no end, right? So this Angel Reese goes on a backstage interview, and she's like, when Caitlin Clark plays in a game, the average attendance is 17,000.
Wow.
When Caitlin Clark doesn't play in the game, the average attendance is 7,000.
Wow.
But this girl, Angel Reese, is hell-bent on, like, it's not just because of one person that is... But I seen something on the internet that I'm never going to be able to unsee again, right? So Angel Reese is the basketball player I'm referring to. But I seen this, and I can't unsee it again. So this is Angel Reese, right? This is what I can't unsee. Sid from Ice Age.
No.
I mean, just.
Wow.
I just can't unsee it.
A little bit into wrestling real quick. I'm not sold on this Wyatt Six shit. It's very hard for me.
I have a fear.
It was very nice, very theatrical. It was a nice Halloween murder scene in the background and all that. But from what I remember out of Bo Dallas, he was not that great on promo or wrestling ability. Like, he just
even just a gimmick, I have this fear.
I don't believe in Bo Dallas. You know what I mean?
I just have this fear like they're gonna make it too gimmicky.
It is already
Like-
too gimmicky. The whole
it
murder
was
scene in the back was
believable.
a horrible idea to me.
So I would rather them do like run interference on a match. Like, remember when back in the day, Papa Shango fucking put the spell on Warrior
Yeah.
keeping up some green shit. Do stuff like that. Keep away from the CGI, just overly done. Just run some interference on matches, kill some people.
Be scary in a different way, like the way the Bloodline is being right now. Be scary in that way.
Yeah.
That these guys are whooping your ass left and right. They're jumping at you. You don't know who's joining their faction all of a sudden. What's his name came in and destroyed Cody. He destroyed Kevin O. Be scary in that sense.
And you can also sprinkle in the supernatural shit, like remember Undertaker Yoko, their casket match, when Undertaker's in the casket and then fucking it starts smoking and then Brian Pillman's getting raised above the fucking Titantron.
Oh,
And
dude, that was, yeah.
you can sprinkle that stuff in. So if fucking Drew McIntyre needs a break, have the YS6 take care of him and fucking kill him off for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is this: we're all grown now, and kids these days don't scare the same, and they know the world better than what we knew our world when it comes to wrestling. There's no more kayfabe at all, zero, zilch, nada. So the whole we're scaring everybody with a bloody murder, it's not super hard sell for me.
I cried when they put Warrior in the casket because I thought he was dead.
Brother,
He was dead.
I get it. Do the feel good. Keep the feel good thing, the struggle, the ups and downs. Like Cody Rhodes when he won at the WrestleMania. Brother, there wasn't anybody that'll disagree with the way that went down.
But it seems like WWE as a whole right now is in this weird place where they don't have really a direction. They're playing spin the bottle right now, and the bottle's just spinning freely. Because
What's up,
you don't
Frizilla?
have Roman. You don't have Roman. You don't have Rhea. You don't have Charlotte. CM Punk's been often injured. There's just so many reasons that you don't have where I think this title run of Cody's has proven
What's up,
a great-
Curtis? Good to have you on here, man. What's going on, brother?
Cody's a great mid-carder. He's not a run the company world heavyweight champion.
No, he is him along with his story was one of the greatest underdog stories.
Great.
When you have it's one of those moments like when you had all these people crying, including Samantha Irving, the ring announcer, that could barely cry out the announcement of him winning. A moment like that, like a moment like when Macho Man and Elizabeth were in the ring.
Bro's the greatest love story of all times.
Brother, those moments are hard.
But when you get slapped back down to reality and you look at it now, it's like, okay, y'all need to get the belt off Sami Zayn.
Please.
He's a great like ad-libber, like part of the bloodline, that kind of goofy. He's not an Intercontinental champion you want to run with.
He's an ultimate sidekick.
Yeah.
He's an ultimate sidekick. He brings the fun, he brings the play, he brings the a different element, you know what I mean? Like the upper hand element when you need it.
And they have no clue what to do with the tag division.
No, the tag division
Miz
is
and
lost.
RKO, our truth, it just
RK Bro was working for me. It really was. And the Usos having the tag titles were definitely working for me. I can't see anybody right now with a certain talent to hold your eyes on those championships. It's hard. It's very difficult. Very difficult. I can definitely see CM Punk as the Universal Champion. I can totally see him.
Put the Intercontinental on him.
I think that would be fair game to put the IC on CM Punk.
I think the US title's good for like a branding title like Logan has, and he can do his little high flying spots and do those kind of things. I don't dislike Logan.
So my thing is this: Cody Rhodes beat Logan Paul, right?
Yeah.
Why is he still the US champ?
Good question.
He lost. So why is he still the champ? You know what I mean? God.
You know what the 2024 SummerSlam needs to bring back? And then we carry it into SummerSlam and we just fucking terrorize the wheel. Bring back the gobbledygooker. Let's get back to gobbledygooker.
We need to do that at least one time for Thanksgiving. We need it. We definitely need that.
Yeah,
and I'm not buying this Braun Breaker guy. He's trying to act like a beast where there's already guys being a beast in the WWE. We have Braun Strowman. And he's the beast among men. I mean, I don't know. WWE is very weird for me right now. And I don't watch AEW. I used to.
AEW is dead. AEW's been dead to me.
But in order for WWE to shake shit up, imagine if SummerSlam. MJF pops up. But imagine if he were to pop up and he would have cost Cody Rhodes the championship. Can you imagine that? I would watch AEW for MJF. I would.
I think it was a mistake for MJF to resign to AEW, but
I think so too. But I can't wait till Mommy comes back to make the women's division.
I'm missing Mommy a lot, bro. Oh.
I'm missing her a lot.
Oh.
There's rumors that she's coming back and bringing somebody with her.
Damn cheeks.
Ooh. Dylan says Breaker's working Goldberg length matches. Yeah. And he's working his move where he's spearing everybody just to kill him. He's just an over actor. He's an over actor. He's just it's too much for me. I can't do it. Can't do it.
But on the bright side, tomorrow's still Sunday.
Yes. For me, officially, it's Sunday now.
Oh, it is. Yeah, I still got another little bit. But, I'm going to sleep in. I had to get up early today. This dude's fucking 106 here today.
Ooh.
So we're like, we're going to get up, get our stuff done early, and then fucking hide out because it's going to be hot. So tomorrow's sleeping day, Sunday. Sleep in, kick up the feet. I need to set this 3D printer up. I got it. I've had it for like 2 months.
Wow.
Sitting in the box by my front door. And I bought the thing is, I bought the biggest one they had. So I'm not joking. The print table is 20 by 20. So it's a huge fucking printer for my needs. But I'm gonna start printing some stuff, start slinging some stuff, and a little side hustle.
Also, pretty soon, I'll be doing a clone. I'm getting closer and closer to my Reggie clone.
All right.
Yeah, so.
And am I actually eyeballing a laser engraver?
Ooh.
I want to get into some side hustles. I need some side hustles in my life.
They're good. Side hustles are good. Side hustles are good. The last time I had a side hustle when I was like a young man out there doing the thing, doing the damn thing, you know what I'm saying? But
right.
No lie. But I mean, now everything's work to me except for leather work. I say leather work, it's just the universal term for me, but leather's a release. It's relaxing. I still haven't taken on really no new orders. I haven't opened up my orders yet. I'm still trying to get through the pile I have here. I think I have 6 more belts to go. And then I'm done. Like, I can finally start taking 3 or 4 belts a month again. I had bumped it up to like 7 or 8 or 9, but I'm gonna take it back down to like 3 to 4 belts a month. Because I'll be squeezing in some custom work in between there too.
Yeah.
And doing raffle belts. But the raffle belts are gonna be theme belts. Hopefully.
But for me, I'm an old man, It's 11 o'clock. Like 2 hours past my bedtime.
Oh, dude. We're over our time limit here. It is exactly 1 hour and 13. Guys, want to do a round cut wing deal? Brother, finish what you started, brother. Believe me. No matter how bad it looks, finish it all the way. All the way. Examine it. Tear it back down and start again. I'm telling you. You have to finish. If you make a mistake, finish it. Go all the way. It doesn't matter. Finish it. The whole thing. You can't appreciate those mistakes without finishing a whole belt. Believe me. You'll learn from it. Believe it. Well, guys, thank you for joining us. It's a late night goats. For me and my boy, I'm going to say we're out of here.
Appreciate y'all.
See you on the next one. We are going to be
up,
out of here. Have a good night, guys. Have a blessed Sunday. Enjoy family and friends. Enjoy everything you do with your family, man. We're here today, gone tomorrow. So make sure you guys jump on that. See you later.